right. Well, welcome everybody to Breaching the Boardroom. I'm your host, David Mauro, and in the studio today is a very special guest, Mr. Hank Dallam, who is the CEO of a legendary MSSP, a managed security service provider, and a MSP, a managed services provider. Think IT management as well as actual true cybersecurity services for small to mid-sized businesses. In business since 1984 and an outstanding friggin' reputation. And the man that is at the helm is with us today. And I am humbled and grateful to have you here. Hank, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up? When you were a kid, did you always want to be CEO of a managed service provider?
Oh, that's what everyone says. Right?
Yeah, both my sons. Yeah, both my sons and my daughters were all saying that since a very young age.
Yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut, go to the Air Force Academy, but my eyes said otherwise. So
that's cool. Why? Route. Yeah, how come an astronaut? What was it? Was it the Tang or what was it?
It's probably the Tang.
Yeah, it got me hooked for a while until I realized you had to study a lot of science.
Yeah, a lot of math.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But right.
You've seen my reports, so that's not happening.
We're here to fix them. We have people for that. But
yes.
So astronaut thing was out of the question, but really have an eclectic path to this seat. Don't have a traditional IT background.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask and share with everybody, because you really don't. So you were working. You went to school. You went to Kentucky, and then you went to Rice for an MBA, which is a phenomenal school. Congratulations! Obviously, their enrollment must have been down that year.
Yeah, and there was a military quota that they had to hit.
There was a military quota. That's great. And then, it's a phenomenal school, and so is Kentucky. And then, but you were working for the government in a certain role, and then you joined the military, right?
That's right. So
what drove that? Like, why did that happen?
Always wanted to serve. Wanted to jump out of airplanes and do the fun Army Ranger stuff, and I wasn't getting any younger, and so I left the Department of Energy, where I was commercializing renewable energy technologies, and got into officer candidate school in the U.S. Army, and did that for 4 years.
That's phenomenal. Well, and thank you for that on behalf of all of us. But, and I mean that genuinely. For me, I was too young to be enlisted or to be drafted or enlist in Vietnam, and I was too old after 9/11. Otherwise, after 9/11, I would have enlisted. So why did you pick the Army? Can I ask? Is that okay to ask? Why the Army versus the Air Force?
I wasn't smart enough to join the Air Force. I don't know. I would have joined the Coast Guard if I was really smart. But
that's a good gig.
Yeah. Brother, sister-in-law, family, uncles and whatnot were all Army. So
cool.
Maybe that's where I was driven toward. But actually the Army, I joined the dark side of energy and worked in oil and gas. And then while at Rice, I learned about private equity and started a search fund, raised a private equity firm, bought a company in San Antonio that was an on-site service construction company, and then sold that. Wanted to move back home. Literally found this role on LinkedIn. No kidding.
Really?
And,
really? So you found Lyra Technologies and this role right on LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn. And so
I love it. That's how I found my roles. Other than this one, I knew of you guys. I reached out to you. But in general, like the number of people I have actually seen leverage that social media platform for actual career growth is remarkable. Like, it's not Instagram. Like, it is really good.
Yeah, definitely. And my
Yeah.
wife and I are both from Kentucky, so we wanted to move
Yeah.
back home to where we had, that
Roots.
family network
Yeah.
and
Especially as you
grandparents and
start to
all
have
that jazz.
kids and stuff. Yeah. Especially as you
Sure.
start to have kids.
And so we're like,
Yeah.
what's going on there?
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
found it on LinkedIn, and
Did your parents serve in the military at all, or were
my
they in
parents
business? Did they inspire you to be in business?
um, come from a family of orthodontists.
Oh,
So
really? Oh,
yeah, so
wow.
I was really close to becoming or
Oh,
going to
yeah.
dental school. So I was
Yeah.
studying for the DAT, going to go to dental school, and then realized I didn't want to look in someone's mouth all day. I'm glad for the people that do, but
My
it
best
was
friend
just
growing up did the
not for me.
exact same thing. Yeah, my best
Yeah,
friend growing up did the exact same. He and I were like brothers. His dad was a big dentist in downtown Chicago, and he was all set. He started dental school, and then he got the actor bug and moved to LA, and he's an actor. He's been an actor ever since. It's
nice.
ridiculous. Yeah, I'm like, wow. Like it was kind of a big shift. But he just couldn't do it. It wasn't him. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's so cool.
very
That's so interesting.
very interesting
Yeah.
path. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So
what? Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, like, your career path from energy to then flipping companies, understanding mergers and acquisitions, military service to CEO of a technology company. That's an uncommon career path. Like, what's one of the leadership lessons that you've learned from outside of technology that most MSP leaders should pay attention to?
I mean, I would say outside tech is very similar to inside tech. I mean,
Yeah.
consequences are
Mm-hmm.
real, they're
Yep.
immediate, they have real results that can impact people and businesses. So I feel like, I don't know, one lesson is to make sure you build in margin into everything. So from staffing to cash flow to delivery capacity and security posture. And one thing I would say is that running lean with no buffer isn't discipline. It's negligence dressed up as efficiency. And so MSPs that run hot all the time can't scale. They're just failing later and louder, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And you see that a lot in this space. In the managed IT space, you see there doesn't seem to be a lot of forethought, right? Because a lot of the people that are owners of the technology, they started as network engineers or they started as IT people, right? On the help desk, et cetera. They've moved up and then they go off on their own and they're not really thinking, they don't want to charge a lot of money. They're good people, right? They don't want to like
Mm-hmm.
do that, but they don't understand that if you don't build in significant margin across the board, like you said, the reality of the margin is always less, isn't it? Like
It
you
is.
on paper, you're like, yeah, we're going to do this service at 40% margin. It never is. It's 10, it's 15 in reality, right? I mean, that's just the way it works because in humans being humans, we always throw extra effort and extra manpower at things. Or
Sure.
the cost of business goes up to us and we don't want to relay that over to our customers.
Right.
So let me ask you, in terms of being a leader, what's some of the hardest things you've had to do and you've had to learn how to do? Stuff they don't teach you in school.
I would say fixing culture takes much longer than you think, and it's
That's a great point.
much more important than anyone
Isn't it?
realizes.
Isn't culture just about beanbags and free food once in a while?
Just Alani and
Yeah.
coffee.
Isn't it?
No,
Isn't it just about like energy drinks in the fridge?
it's. I think it's.
Like,
It
I
turns
don't know
out it's a
why you're
little.
not happy. Get
It's a
back to
little
work.
bit
I
more
don't know
than
why
that.
you're not.
It
That
turns
is,
out,
isn't it?
but I mean,
Yeah.
it takes longer than you think. I think the cost. It costs more than you plan for, um, and matters more than any tech decision that you're obsessing over
Absolutely.
currently. So, like, I
Yeah.
understand. I definitely underestimated how legacy behavior hides in the process gaps that we have. So culture debt, I feel like, compounds faster than technical debt. and the interest rate on that is brutal.
Sound like a man with an MBA. It's exactly
Like,
right. Yeah. I
I did
mean,
not
it's so true.
ChatGPT that, I promise.
I believe you. I know your AI practices. They're very similar to mine. No, it's really true, right? It's that belief that this is the way we've always done it, right?
Yep.
And how do you challenge that in a reasonable way? Like, you don't want to break tradition just for the sake of doing something different. You want to lead them to a better place, and oftentimes that requires you to break tradition.
Yeah, and it requires you to understand what you're getting into, and that's something that I've learned along the way also. Is I go in to a new situation not knowing anything, and I just ask a whole bunch of really dumb questions. And asking the right questions lets you understand where you are, where the organization is, because we have been around for 40 years, right? And so we've got people
A
that
lot of legacy.
1980s mindset, and people in a group that has a 90s mindset, and then we're trying to build a one NetGain here. We're not like staggered in different thought process generations. I guess
really
so.
good.
It's kind of
And you
so
want to be respectful of the people too. And I see
sure,
that,
and
right?
they know where the
Right.
bodies are buried. They know way more than I ever will, and it's trying to figure out what you need to do and approach different people who are motivated by different things. Some people need to understand the why. Some have other motivations, and trying to thread that needle is difficult when you're stepping into like a new organization. So being able to listen first, ask a lot of questions, and give yourself some time to process all that, and then start making necessary adjustments is definitely a lesson learned.
In your first, let's say, 90 days at the helm as a young CEO, what are some of the things that you're surprised that you thought could happen, or you had some assumptions, and then years later now, you're like, wow, I wish I would have done this, or, I didn't really think this would be as hard as it was or take as long? Is that culture, things like that?
Yeah,
Things
I mean, really,
we
that kind of
about?
ties to the culture piece of just
Yeah, it does.
You can't fix it overnight. You can't pull the ocean in a single day, and you have to take time to step back and listen and ask questions, and and also respect the people that are here and what they've done and how they've built what you just walked into, because they have built this over 4 decades. And so we got here, but then I have to understand, so what got us here isn't going to get us where we need to go. So I need to say, this is where we need to go, and make that very clear and articulate to the team, and then help the team help me bridge that gap.
Yeah. You mentioned something that was really important, and that it resonated with me because it's right along what Simon Sinek always says. And I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek. He talks about he has no problem being the idiot in the room and asking the obvious question. And I think that is some great advice for younger workers. Like, don't assume you're supposed to know. Like, sometimes younger workers or people that are newer to the organization will be in a meeting and they'll just kind of nod and go along. And then afterward, I'll talk to them, or somebody will talk to them, and they'll be like, yeah, I didn't really understand this, or didn't. There's nothing wrong with going, hey, could you explain what that acronym means? Hey, what does that mean then? Right? Because oftentimes when I see them doing that, it changes the trajectory of the whole conversation in a good way. Right? Like, it clears up, because sometimes you'll see other people were like, well, that's what I thought too. Right? Like, I thought it was this way. And the person talking was like, no, I meant it this way. And asking those questions, because you said you ask a lot of questions, sometimes obvious ones that people don't ask. And that's really telling. Do you
Yeah, I
find
mean,
that has helped you?
definitely. And I mean, I'm always the first one to say, like, I want to be the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah.
Everyone in the room is really good at very specific things. We're all really good at something.
Hmm.
Like, my job is to tie the room together. It's not to understand all the nerdy operations
Right.
engineering stuff. It's not all the
You're
jock
trying to take point.
sales
Yeah, you're trying to take
side
point
of
A
it.
and connect it with point
I'm
B.
trying to pull people
Right.
together.
Yeah.
And after 90 days of all new employees coming in, I always sit down with them and just ask them, like, how's the onboarding? What can we do better now that you have a fresh set of eyes on this business? Like, what's dumb is how I
Hmm.
phrase it. I'm like, what are we doing
Yeah.
that's really dumb?
Yeah.
And because we're definitely we're doing some great things, obviously, but we're also doing things that there's a better way to do it. And
Of
I want
course.
the
Yeah.
employees to know that if there's a better way to do something, like, just let me know. Like, you're the one that sees with fresh eyes that there's a better way to do this, or the experiences that they've had. I just try to make that clear from the initial point of hire data. So we're all just trying to build a better mousetrap and just be better at what we do and how we deliver services for clients.
Absolutely. So you focus a lot on sales and marketing. I've seen you drive a lot of initiatives and growth. What's what's one of the myths that the managed service provider industry has that you think just needs to go away?
Let's see. Um, our
Now,
differentiator is that we care more and have better engineers. So every MSP says that, every single one of them. The reality is that buyers pay for clarity,
mm-hmm,
outcomes, and risk reduction. If your sales motion can't articulate that business value in plain English, engineering excellence won't save you. That myth deserves a quiet burial and a pipeline review immediately.
that's great insight, actually. Yeah, because you see that a lot, especially with owner-led managed service providers, IT providers, um, and they focus on the technical aspect. They focus on the experience and expertise of the engineering skill sets
Because that's where
that
they
they
came from.
themselves have, because that's what they came from,
Right.
and that's how they got to where they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a natural thing to do, but from a client perspective, clients don't care, right? Like, clients are looking for outcome. They care about themselves, right?
Yep.
And so understanding the client operating reality and translating what you do into how you're going to help them do that and do what they care about. That's really the magic, isn't it?
It is.
Interesting. When you look to the future, since we're wrapping up 2025, we're looking into 2026, and I'm starting to see on LinkedIn and other places and in
Mm.
conventions and socialization, I start to see a lot of predictions out there. What do you see happening in terms of AI, cybersecurity, automation, things like that in our industry? Like, what are you seeing? You've done a lot of public speaking. You've been to a lot of events this year. You're doing a lot of traveling. What are you seeing in terms of trends?
I mean, it's definitely the buzzword of the year. Kind of makes me cringe just to say the word
I
AI,
know.
but
I know.
um,
Everything has AI. Like,
I know.
I literally was at an event and somebody had a fork and they were like, "It's an AI infused fork," and I'm like, "Stop!" And I just walked away. I was like, "Just stop!"
You're eating
Like,
too many calories.
I don't want an AI infused fork. I don't care how
It's,
great it is. I
it's
don't want it
terrible.
collecting data on my food intake
That's
either.
right. You need to floss.
Yeah,
Um,
God, stop.
oh man,
Sorry, I
but I
didn't mean
mean,
to
so
digress.
yeah, no. I mean, I feel like most clients will chase AI before they're ready.
Hmm.
They'll automate broken down workflows and
Hmm.
then blame the technology.
They'll
Markets will
automate bad processes, right? Like
correct.
you have to fix the human process first, the
That's right.
manual process. Yeah,
Markets will continue to overpromise. Like you said, with the fork, vendors will slap AI onto
everything.
everything possible and still need humans to babysit them.
Yep.
And so I feel like NetGain's role is unglamorous but essential. And so, like you said, I feel like we need to fix the plumbing first, fix the
Hmm.
data, fix the processes. Uh, the security foundations need to be firm. Then deploy AI where it removes friction, reduces risk, improves decision making for SMB leaders. And internally, we use AI to compress time, eliminate manual effort, scale our expertise. But I feel like externally, acting as the translators between the hype and the reality that we're seeing is provides the most value for this part of what we provide for our clients. I mean, it's by the time we finish this conversation, something else has already changed in this market. So having someone that can be that partner that can keep up with that, keep you ahead of it, help you plan for it from an annualized basis, quarterly review basis, is really where the true value of where I see a company like NetGain really providing.
Absolutely. I mean, there's definitely something to be said about the fact that in the MSP space or the MSSP space, they see all the different industries and they see them regularly. That's their world. And so for a business that makes widgets or practices law or medicine or whatever, right? Being able to tap into that when they're making technology decisions or AI initiatives, right? Being able to tap in, what are you seeing my competitors doing? What are you seeing? There is a huge value in that.
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
being able to see a cross sectional view
Right.
of like minded, vertically similar SMBs
Yeah.
is super.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of anxiety, fear about AI. AI is coming for jobs, things like that.
That fork terrifies me.
Yeah, the AI fork.
Yeah, the AI fork. I'm
That's
not going
really
to be able to sleep
resonated with
tonight.
you. This is
Yeah.
going to be that time I talked to Mauro and all we talked about was an AI fork. I shouldn't have brought that up. Um, no, but I mean the the data that I'm seeing from the Department of Labor and IBM and some of the others, Axios, they're not really finding it. Like they're like, no, a lot of the layoffs in the tech space and stuff, those are cyclical. Those would have happened. They happened 3 years ago. They're happening now. Like it literally has nothing to do with AI. They're
Mm-hmm.
saying it does because it sells, it gets clicks, right? But it's really not. I mean, what are you, have you heard anything, seen anything? Because I
Yeah, I
know
mean,
people are worried, and I don't see it. I think you should be using it on a regular basis. You should be familiar with it, right? It's a generational change, but I don't think it's coming for the humans necessarily.
yeah, no, I don't think it's coming for the humans. People are already using it, whether it's
Yeah,
shadow IT or
right.
they're using it correctly inside their internal environments. It's better to have a safe space to operate. Like if you're looking at it from a business perspective, it's better to
Get in front of it,
get
right?
in front of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
and just use it internally in a safe way, in a structured way that um, everyone's using it the same way instead of just bringing their own device and doing whatever they need to. So having processes, procedures around how your company operates.
Having an AI policy and just being
Or
as a leader
just
as the leader of a small to mid-sized organization, no matter what the industry, just having a clear AI policy saying, hey, we're going to roll it out here. We're going to crawl before we run. We're going to do it in a controlled environment. That way, at least everybody knows not to use rogue apps or not to download whatever thing they see, not to go buy the AI fork, and bring it into the office,
Yeah,
like stuff like that, right?
don't
Don't
drop
connect
your
that to, don't connect that to the company Wi-Fi, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't drop your company P&L in
Right.
a free version of ChatGPT.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's good. Yeah, absolutely. How are you, MSPs talk about awards a lot. They a lot of them have awards, and you know, uh, I'm aware NetGain has won a ton, right? But what are they? And a lot of them are. I mean, some of them are like pay to play, right? But a lot of them are like it takes a long time to get some of those, and so they're very valid. But what are some of the metrics you look at in your role? What are some of the things you look for? Like in the mornings or when you're looking at all of the data and business intelligence you see as a leader of a strong growing IT company? Like what do you look at?
I mean, awards are great, but they're a lagging indicator. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's a
already
good
passed.
yeah, that's a
It's
good
not gonna,
perspective. Yeah,
it's not going to get us where we need to go.
right.
It's not indicative of where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
The awards we've won, we never pay to play for
I know.
awards,
Yeah.
because that's just silly. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the main metrics that we look at when we're trying to grow is net new MRR quality, and not
Mm-hmm.
just the dollar amount, but the margin profile, uh, potential churn risk, the delivery stream, and the
Yep.
strategic fit that hits our target client profile or TCP.
Yep.
Basically, bad revenue, in my opinion, is worse than no revenue, and it
Yeah.
distracts the team and erodes trust faster
Yep.
than it could show up on the P&L. And
Yeah.
so, getting that good quality pipeline from a new MRR perspective is vitally important.
I wanted to ask you this, and we can edit this out if you don't want to comment on it. But the MSP industry, there's no threshold to call yourself an MSP, right? Do you think that it's heading toward like some type of baseline certification or some type of organizational maturity level that it needs to have in order to call yourself certain things? Like almost every field has developed like that. There's board certified physicians. To be a lawyer, you didn't used to have to pass the bar. You have to pass the bar now. And then there's continuing ed. Like, do you think the IT industry is going to go in that direction?
I do. I feel like it is going to have to with the regulatory requirements and the
Yeah.
compliance requirements that are coming down, whether it's CMMC or any of things going in Europe that are going to hit us as well.
Yeah. Privacy
There's
acts, all that.
all of that, and
Yep.
insurance companies. On the way in today, I heard a podcast, MSP podcast, because I'm a super nerd. But they were saying that only 44% of ransomware insurance claims were paid out. So you have insurance
Wow.
regulations. That was last year, and then this year they projected to be over 50%. But you have insurance requirements. You have government regulatory compliance. Obviously, the CMMC is huge coming in if you're in a regulated industry, which is the verticals that we service: healthcare, finance, manufacturing. You need to be SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. So there needs. We are heading very, very quickly into a must pass go level if you're going to play in the sandbox. If you're not in some of those industries, maybe that's different. But to play in the sandbox, there's going to be a minimum threshold for providers, and they're going to have to back it up with proof. They're going to have to back it up
Right.
with audits and all the things that go along with what they say they're providing. It's actually what they're delivering.
Right. Because otherwise they could throw anything on a website
Right.
and say they're providing cybersecurity services, even though they're just reselling tools. They don't have anybody there that knows cybersecurity. Right.
Right.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I was curious because in my experience, it seems like it's heading that way. And I'm like, it should. Like it's a profession like any others. I just can't believe
100%.
there's no bar to entry. Like it's really kind of interesting considering the level of confidential information we have access to for clients, considering the responsibility that we have, considering we're at the epicenter when there's a ransomware attack, like all of those things. Like you should have professionals in the room with you that are true professionals. However, we all agree to measure that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, we'll keep that in there because I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, you did well. Hey, so as we're winding down, what are some of your advice on leadership for younger employees or newer employees? Would you agree that people can lead regardless of title? Like there are leaders, I know we have them here at NetGain, that they might not be the director of a practice, but when they're in a room, you defer to them, like they are the leader of that topic.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. Anyone can be a leader. Titles are pointless. Obviously, there have to be decision makers that
Right.
need to pull the trigger on a key decision. But I feel like having people on the bus in the right seats with a clear mission, autonomy, that they're an adult, like you're an adult, act like one. I'm not going to micromanage you.
Right.
And having kind of leaders that remove obstacles instead of creating them, and those that can create high standards and low drama, no matter where you are in the organization. I mean, those are the people you want in a very fluid, very rapidly changing industry. And I mean, like I said before, things have changed from the beginning of this conversation. So having people that aren't afraid to take risks and speak up and really stay ahead of this rapid technological change that we're having now is vital. And it's the people that are going to make it. It's not the AI. It's the people that are going to define kind of where we go and how we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. How do you've come from a lot of different industries. You've got experience all over the place. How do you like the MSP world?
I love it. I don't do well with idle hands.
Right.
You can tell I've got a little fidget ball here, so I've got to always be doing something. But I like the fast pace. I like the continuous improvement, which is one of our
constant change.
Core values. Of just like, if you don't learn, you don't continue to stay on top of things, then you fall behind. And so I love the continuous evolution there. The people are great, very dedicated. They have to be really client focused and really this industry. You have to stay on top of everything, and you also are able to make a lot of connections, and being able to pull all these connections together. It's kind of like a giant SharePoint site where you don't know where everything is, but everything's there.
Yeah,
exactly. You get to use vendors and your employees, and you get to phone a friend, and it's a very close knit organization, very fast paced, and yeah, don't put baby in the corner.
That's fantastic.
To get ornery.
So, what's on the horizon on 2026? I know this year you did a lot of traveling. You were at a lot of events. You did some a good share of public speaking. What do you what's on the horizon for you? that you
Yes.
know of right now? I know it always pops up. But
is this a question for my wife? How much are you going to travel this year?
Yeah, she texted the studio. Make sure you ask him so I know.
Is she watching
He's
right
not
now?
telling me anything.
Yeah, definitely more speaking, more industry leadership, serving on several boards, was just elected to the GTIA North America Executive Council.
That's great. I voted for you 10 times, so that was great.
Yes. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
You got me over the cliff.
Yeah, a bunch of like one solid vote and then like 9 mail-in ballots. So nice. It was great. Yeah,
they got the mail, so that's good.
Whatever works.
Obviously, the focus on cybersecurity and the AI piece is going to be crucial in trying to distract from trying to have fewer shiny objects from a tooling perspective. And so basically we're trying to scale impacts without scaling the nonsense that plagues many of us MSPs, us included.
Excellent. Well, hey man, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you. I know you're super busy. So I thank you so much, and I appreciate your insight and everything that you do. You dedicate a lot of your free time and everything else here. So we appreciate all you do.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.